If one side did something that the other one didn't like, they highlighted it before anybody else.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If one side did something else, the other side highlighted it. So it was actually quite interesting to observe that the government was checking itself as a coalition. What we are talking about now is something different. So if we were to say that Kenyans came about with a solution that is unique, it is so. But the uniqueness of this minority and majority is the real check comes in if those whose candidate lost the presidency are a majority in parliament, then the check and balance becomes interesting. And I think UDA understood this. And having understood it, they were not going to risk a situation where you have a parliament where the so-called grouping, the coalition that actually lost the presidency, are a majority. How would you move anything?
And as well, during the Kibaki time, why that check and balance was working very well was because everything that was happening, any decisions made, was supposed to be in consultation with the other side. Where if that failed, hence why the antennas were always high. But in 2022, those who lost the election, majority in the National Assembly.
I'm happy listening because I was part of that government of Kibaki.
It is why I brought it up. Yes.
I tell you, it was very nice working in that government. Parliament was parliament.
Yes.
It is that was when you would bring a motion of censure on any of those cabinet. And the parliament was able to oversight the executive properly.
Yes.
But then you also had quality members of parliament. That I must say without fear of ever. It was, we were able to, remember it was also the time we were able to negotiate the constitution.
Yes, yes.
And it was not an easy thing.
No.
That parliament is a parliament that had Anyang'o,
Yes.
Orengo, Martha Karua, Kiraito Murungi, Mwai Kibaki was a member of parliament, Raila was a member of parliament, Munya was a member. We were all there. That's how we were picked, a few of us, to go and sit and make the constitution. And some of the things you're talking about, the nature of checking the government, you can trace them back to those discussions, and perhaps the parliament that you have talked about. And but you see, if then we are saying that the system that we are in seems not to be working, it is only fair that we walk out of it with clarity, not with
emotions.
Not with emotions, and not when Kenyans see you like a person who is just out for self-preservation. And I know there are many people who don't like hearing the term BBI, but BBI had addressed all these shortcomings. All these shortcomings were addressed. And there was the realization that the form of government that we got into is not serving Kenyans well.
Yeah.
So, but the people who fought it, led by William Ruto and Gachagua, are now the ones who are, and they also could see that it was not working. So it's that level of dishonesty that is irritating to many of us. You know, this thing needed to have been fixed.
Yes, and it could have been fixed.
And it could have been fixed. In fact, we went all the way to fixing it. Because other than the fact that the Supreme Court again threw in the spanner into the works, would have sorted out this issue. Because what were we saying? It is important to bring back the leader of official opposition into parliament so that there is oversight within the floor.
Yes.
And then the oversight affects the legislative process. But the oversight that is now left is that one with minority and majority members of parliament who are junior to the leaders of the party. And the leaders of the party are the ones outside. That is what has happened. So what has happened is